power is the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others. So, Athena, goddess of war, strength, power, wisdom. She was the one who led on the battlefields when people always prayed to the god for victory and guidance in a strategic event. They went to her. Artemis, goddess of the hunt. She was known also as the goddess of wild creatures. And one shot from her arrow killed anything. Anything it touched. That's power. So, here's my question to you guys, and I need my helpers who are we got it. Okay, so, what kind of power did these two women have? Come on, I heard it before. I heard good morning. So I know you all can talk. What kind of power? Life and death power. What else? You're going to have to find them. I have two ladies up here. Raise your hand if you answered the question so that we can find you. You'll get something out of it, I trust me. All right. So, what else? Leadership power. What else? Wisdom. The power of wisdom. Excellent. It's going to hustle. Try to pick your bags up. We don't want to lose anybody during this lecture. All right. So this is one thing. So we're going to move on. Wait for it. Okay. So here's another few ladies that we should know about. Cleopatra. Now Cleopatra, she was a ruler of Egypt. She used her powers of seduction to get what she wanted. She became one of the most powerful women in history. She's still celebrated as one of those women. Then we're going to also talk about Nefertiti. Now, she was a queen of Egypt. And if you notice, she's wearing a pharaoh's headdress. She was always depicted, and she demanded that she wear the pharaoh's headdress, and she also demanded that any artistic work with her be utilized, that she would be depicted as a warrior, and she would be depicted winning. So, she wasn't messing around. And the next person we're going to talk about took that even a step further. Hatshepsut said, I'm not only going to just wear the headdress, I'm going to be king. So she went as far as to say, I'm not just queen, I'm king. And she took that role seriously, and she was actually accepted in that role. She was also one of the most prolific builders in Egyptian times. A woman, all three. What kind of power did they have? Leadership power. What else did they have? Marketing power, yeah. Charisma. What else? Change. What? Louder, come on. Political power, yes. What else? What is it? Influence. Influential power. What else? Confidence. They had it all. And they led with it all. All right, I'll go to the next one. Oh, look at her moving now. All right, Deborah the Judge. Now, this is one of Linda's favorites. Now, Deborah the Judge was the only judge, female judge, mentioned in the Bible. She was in charge of Israel, basically, and she was known as one of the most righteous, truthful, powerful women of her time. And then we're going to also talk about Joan of Arc. Now, at the ripe old age of 19, she led a revolt in the 100-Year War, and she led France to victory over the occupation of Britain. So, let me tell you, not fading flowers here, right? They went forth and they really left their mark. What type of power did these two women have? Wisdom, yes. Authority, courage. What else? Fighting. Yeah, they weren't messing either. What is it? Loud. Come on now. Bravery. Bravery. I like it. It deserves two things. Yes. Strength. Yeah, they were. She had full set of armor on. Come on. She was ready in the front of battle. Military power. Yes. Vision. She was a visionary. She actually came forth, Joan of Arc, and said she had visions. That's how she led her battlements through. Okay, next one. Here, two rivals. Queen of Scots, Queen Elizabeth, in England and Ireland. They did not like each other. One actually killed the other, but we're not going to touch on that. But Queen of Scots, she was known as one of the most courageous and independent women, shall we say, because she became the first true monarch. She did not gain power by right of marriage. She got it by right of birth, and she held on to it. Okay? Queen Elizabeth, she was known for her promotion of the arts. So she actually was responsible for what era? It says her name. Elizabethan era. So she was held responsible, I know, go figure. So she was responsible for going forth and actually promoting the arts. And William Shakespeare came out of her time. Okay? I don't know many people that have an era named after them, but I think it's pretty neat. So what kind of power did these two women have?
Leadership.
Regal. What else?
Cultural.
Cultural power. Yes. What else? Political power. Yes. What else? Leadership power. Religious power. That was actually a big part of their reign. And all these individuals, I hope that you look a lot of these up, because these are very important. Elizabeth Blackwell, we should all know this woman. First woman in the United States to earn a medical degree. She was a reformer of medical education as well as ethics. Florence Nightingale, she's known as the founder of modern nursing. And she developed a school, and it still stands in her name. And my favorite, I like Mary Curie. She won not one, 2 Nobel Prizes. One in physics, and then she didn't stop there. She won another one in chemistry. I mean, come on. She also was one of the first, she was the first female professor in Paris. I bet you didn't know that about her. What kind of power did these women have?
Educational.
Scientific, educational, what else? Intellectual power, aha, good. What else?
Transformative.
There you go, transformative power, perfect. What else?
Medical.
Medical knowledge, she had medical power too. She was in there in the front lines. Visionary power, yes. Moral power, yes. She was a fighter for ethics. All right, we're going to keep moving here. Virginia Woolf and Frank Agatha Christie. I didn't think I was going, without touching on some Woolf people, did you? So Virginia Woolf, what book did she write that actually was really a proponent of bringing women into power in the field of literacy and the arts? Anybody know?
A Room of One's Own.
Ah, yes! That woman gets a definite book. All right, so, other people, Anne Frank. Now, Anne Frank wrote the diary of Anne Frank. And unfortunately, she was lost at the age of 50, but she actually journaled her trip and her avoidance of all the armies searching for her for the Holocaust. Agatha Christie, actually the best-selling author of all time. A woman, 66 detective novels she wrote. Okay? What kind of power do women in this life have?
Literary.
Literary. What else?
Transformative.
Transformative. What else?
Creative.
Creative power. Yes. What else? Empowerment. Yes. Documentary power. Yes. What else?
Prolific.
Prolific. Yes. They
Prosperity.
inspire.
Inspirational.
Inspirational. That's a great word for these ladies because yes, movers and shakers. They brought forth. I mean, Virginia Woolf was one of the modernists. She was considered the modernist of the 20th century for literary. She brought forth that entire movement. So yes, powerful women, different reasons though, right? Okay. Click for me. All right, there you go. Oh, too fast. All right, listen. Amelia Earhart. Ah, everyone should know this young lady. First solo flight across the Atlantic by a woman. She was also, and you might not know this about her, she was one of the actual professors at Purdue who taught aviation and encouraged women to join her in the ranks of aviation. Okay, what kind of power did this woman have? Bravery.
Prosperity.
Prosperity?
Yes.
All right. What else? What is aviation? Inspirational, adventuresome power. Yeah, she was
Academic.
academic. Yeah, she was academic. She was in that university fighting for the rest of us as well. What else? Publicity. Yeah, she stood in front of countless people and said, I can do this too. Right? Speaking of I can do this too. Next. Right. Rosa Parks. All right, Rosa Parks. She was known as the first lady of civil rights. Right? She refused to give her seat up on the bus. And in that role, and in that moment, she defined who she was. Okay? What kind of power did this woman have?
Shamelessness.
Activism power. What?
Shamelessness.
Shamelessness. I'm not giving up my seat.
Persistent.
Persistence.
Aspiration.
Define. Yes.
Aspiration.
Aspirational. Yes. What else? Defiant. Civil. Yes.
Dignity. Daring.
Dignity. Daring. It took a lot to say no, right? She was all by herself.
Pride.
Pride. Yes. Women's rights. She was a leader. She was the first lady. Let's move on, because this one is also a fun one. I read it. So I'm going to test your knowledge here. Who is Margaret Hamilton? She's very important. Do you see that book? That's humongous pile of writing next to her?
She coded.
Yes, she did. She coded. That huge piece of thing is a handwritten code for the Apollo space mission. She did that. She is responsible. She is responsible for making sure that our astronauts landed safely. Did you believe that? Did you know about her? Aha, you learned something. So, she was also known as the mother of sort of modern software. She's responsible for that we use every day, and what I mess up every day. So, Eleanor Roosevelt, she changed what it is to be a first lady. She served with those 4 terms in office as a first lady. She was the first woman to hold a first presidential spouse, to hold a press conference. First one to stand at a national conference and speak. Presidential spouse, first one. Okay? Susan B. Anthony, she led the suffrage movement. She got us our rights. What power did these women have? Visionary power. What else? Groundbreaking. They set the standard, and they set it high. What else? What is it? Ambition. You gotta project. Come on now. All right. Intellectual power. That's intellectual power. Political power. Mold breaking. Yes. What else? Innovative. No one created that first. She did. All right, next one. Aha. Now, Sally Ride might have been the first U.S. person in space, but I want to introduce you to the first woman in space. Valentina Tereskova, she was the first woman in space from Russia. She was selected by over 400 applicants applied for her one position, and she got it. Okay? And then, of course, you all know the Iron Maiden, Margaret Thatcher. What is she famous for? A lot of things, right? Yeah, first female prime minister of the UK. She was one of the people that really changed the landscape. Being a leader of her conservative party, she really brought forth what it is for that political power and to stand there and be heard and be recognized. She is one of the most recognized pictures. If you flash a picture out to many children or many people across the world, they can recognize her from the political aspects from her. All right, next one. Oh, we should all know this one. Mother Teresa. So, yes, humanitarian. She was one of the leaders of Calcutta, one of the nurses of Calcutta. She has won the Nobel Prize for her humanitarian works. Yeah, she should be. I think she will be canonized in September. We're all hoping. And another one of my favorites, Billie Jean King. So who can tell me what battle she actually fought? And she fought this against Bobby Riggs. What was it called? Battle of the Sexes, right? She also was she won 39 Grand Slams. 39. I mean, she was ranked the #1 professional tennis player. Okay? But did she win or lose, by the way, in the Battle of the Sexes? She won. She won. And even though the match first started taking place, she was behind. And she remembers in a lot of her her post afterwards, they interviewed her and they said, well, you were losing in the front, what happened? She said, I just had a realization of what does this mean to all the women I represent. And she brought herself together and she won. What a huge stride. Sandra Day O'Connor, first Supreme Court Justice. What kind of power did these women have? Passion. Compassion. Passion and compassion. Physical power. Yeah. You gotta be majorly in shape to do that. I mean, I would have fallen right over. Determination. What else? Religious power. Yes. Dedication. I mean, this didn't come overnight, and none of these accomplishments happened just a one shot, one night, I studied and got this. All right. Okay. Madeleine Albright. What quote was she famous for? Yes. Thank you, one, but there's... True. But I love her quote that made her famous in my eyes was one that was far from political. There's a special place in hell for women who do not support other women. There we go. And then we see Antonio Novella and Janet Reno, first attorney and surgeon generals, women. What kind of power do these young ladies have? Political, strength, legal power, yes. Motivational, what else? Leadership power. They stood in the front lines, yes. Positional power, yes. They stood at the front and they didn't back down, yeah. Global power, yes. Grit? Headlight readers, grit. Yes. Grit. They didn't let what other people said or anything damage their careers, and they still stood at the front lines and said, I will be seen and I will be heard. Maya Angelou. Yeah, ooh, I like that. She wrote 7 autobiographies. 7. And they were all bestsellers. I mean, come on. Malala. Everyone should know her. Okay? Pakistani. She actually came forth and said, and the local Taliban said, women will not go to school. And she didn't accept that. She went and was almost assassinated because of what she's done. Okay? Maya Hamm. I know it's a little bit of a mishmash of people, but I like her. Considered the best female soccer player of all time. 2 gold medals. I think that's pretty impressive. What kind of power do these women have? Self-assurance. Courage. Yeah, courage. I mean, to be told you're going to be shot and keep going, that takes courage. A voice. Fearlessness. Literary. Creativity. Strength. The power
to forgive.
Yes, the power to forgive and to keep going. It's becoming an awesome game. All right, so here's some more people that we should know about. Oprah Winfrey. Most famous TV show host of all time. She's actually the founder of Oprah's Angel Network, which donates grants for underserved communities. Change the forefront of how we view women in that role of TV show host. Angelina Jolie, considered the most powerful entertainer of the current time, and one of the most powerful women in Hollywood, if you can consider it. And not only that, she's an activist too, right? Right? Yes. She's come forward, very big in the refugee movement. Ellen DeGeneres, one of my personal favorites. She speaks to the power of kindness. She's raised millions of dollars for breast cancer. Okay? She's done all these things. And she still maintains that positive outlook, and she is very promotional of women. Yes. She gets women on that screen and she says, look what they've done. She never tries to tear her people down, she tries to build them up. And that's what we should be doing, right? How do they have power?
Cultural influence.
Cultural influence. What else?
Intentional.
Public power. Yes, they can sway the entire public's view of someone by one interview. Monetary power. That's a big thing.
Altruistic.
Altruistic power. They have donated quite a bit of their earnings to others. What?
Ellen DeGeneres is one of the first gay TV show hosts that took a lot of pride.
Absolutely. Now that's
Intentional.
some courage to come forward and say, I'm in the public arena and this is who I am. Media power, yes.
Power of voice.
Power of voice, and she used it. Right? They used it. They got up, stood up, were heard, and continued. We should know these two. All right. Condoleezza Rice, first African American Secretary of State. She was first National Security Advisor, female. Okay. Who's the other lady? Hopefully the Democratic nomination for president. Okay. First lady. New York State, what else? There's a long list of things that this young lady has done. Okay? What kind of power did they have? Political power. What else?
Education.
Global power. What else?
Education.
Education.
Intellectual.
Intellectual power.
Women power.
Yes. Women power.
The power of influence.
Power to influence. Because they influence not only the people around them, they influence countries. They influence the world we live in. All right. So let's return to where we started. What is power again? The capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others in course of events. Have these women done that?
Yes.
Yes, yes, they have. Absolutely. They've changed the forefront. They've changed the map for us. It's going to blow by my next slide. Yep. All right. And power can take the form, as we heard. It can take many forms. It's not just physical power, although I must say I have some. It can be political, intellectual, spiritual. You've named them all. And I've only put up a small amount of women in history that have attained these powers. Small. I had to be selective and just random sometimes in my picking. There were so many to choose from. And now I'm going to talk to why we're here. And this is a friend of mine. Her name is Linda Brodsky. Okay? And this is the purpose of the Linda Brodsky Memorial Award and Address that I'm here for today. She was internationally known in otolaryngology. She has published over 100 scientific papers, 27 book chapters. She was responsible for the creation of the Brodsky tonsillar disease points that are actually taken and still used today what she's created. She was a mother of 3. She led and created multiple educational initiatives, mentored, led, had power within the operating room and outside the operating room. She had many of these forms of powers that we're talking about today. Unfortunately, her life was cut short in February of 2014, and we lost a valuable asset to AMWA. She's also had two quotes that she lived by. And I want to draw your attention to the one. Only she who attempts the absurd can achieve the impossible. By Helen Keller. Think about it. The women before, all of those slides. Do you think anyone paved their way? Do you think anyone ever told them, stop, don't go further? That's not really what you should be doing. How many think that they heard that? Oh, come on. Yes. They tried to stop them, but they didn't. And thankfully, they've raised the platform for all of us. And now it is our responsibility to continue. I know I'm going to blow by if I click the button, but this is a favorite picture of mine. I'm a big fan of... Here she is. Okay. strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them. Now, there's one other thing I'm going to ask you to do. Because again, I don't believe in making this entirely on me. So, wait, there's another slide coming. Bah. So, here are my two girls, Alexandra and Audrey. I battle on because of that. I want them to have a higher point of starting point for their careers and their aspirations, so that they can join the women on these slides. I want you to go to Facebook, Twitter, find AMWA, join it, and I want to see your pictures of why you battle on. I want to see them all, and it could be pictures of your kids. It could be a single word on a piece of paper, why you battle. And I want to see them all. Let's flood it with how we battle on.